Hello, welcome to Ahral and Kuwait Center. 10 words a day course, How to Eat an Elephant concept. We're going to learn a new thing today, that is the tense. We have learned earlier about the time. For example, today, yesterday, tomorrow. These are the time frames that we have studied. Those words we are familiar. How we are going to apply those words when we are making sentences or when we are communicating. And I just want to tell you one thing. Using the time frame is the most important part. In English, we have 12 tenses, basically 3 tenses which are divided into 4 each, then it multiplies to 4 into 3, 12. But among them, 50% of the English grammar is using simple present tense and 20% is using simple past tense and 10% is using present continuous tense. So that is the main purpose. We will be focusing on the first one today, the simple present tense, and then we will move on to the other portions, simple past tense as well as the present continuous tense. Let's see. Most of the time, to speak in English, the easiest and the correct way is to use the simple present tense. That will help us to provide the information clearly to the opposite person. Let's dive into the lesson. What is the simple present tense grammar structure? The first portion, subject plus the base verb, and when it is he, she, it, the singular pronouns which I have taught you all before, those will have the s or the es at the end of the verb, which we have studied before. The second portion is negative sentences. How it comes? Subject plus do or does not plus the base verb. Then the third rule, when it comes to questions, then we will be using do or does plus subject plus the base verb. This is how the simple present tense will be used. Let's see. What is the subject in English grammar? The subject is the person. For example, I, you, he, she plays Kalavaba, Kakirava, Colombo, Candy, Sri Lanka, India, think, pen, book, paper, computer, any idea that does the action or the sentence is about. So keep it in mind. We have to know what is the subject in any sentence to follow the correct grammar rules. Otherwise, we will make mistakes. Then when it comes to the definition of subject, we can say the subject is the who or what that performs the verb. What is the verb? Action or state in a sentence. I'll give you a tip to identify the subject. First, we have to find the verb. For example, I go to school. Then we have to find the action first. What is the action? Go. Then we have to raise the question to identify the subject, like who or what. The answer for these questions will be the subject. Let's take the example which we took before. I go to school. Then we have to raise the question, who or what. In this situation, we will use who, I. So the subject will be I. Then the action is go. So that is the verb. Just keep it in mind, children. We will be learning that a little bit deeper in the upcoming videos. Let's go through one by one. The first one, we are talking about the grammar rules. Subject plus base verb. And if the base verb is used with the singular subjects like he, she, it, then it will be adding s or es at the end of the word. This we have learned in our previous lessons. Now I'll take some examples. And we know how to find the subject. We have the tips for that. The subject is I, the base verb, play. So how we can make an example for that? I play football on Sundays. That is regularly happening. You eat. You eat breakfast at 7 a.m. We walk to school together. They read books every day. He plays the guitar well. She watches cartoons every morning. You can see, children, now we are conveying our idea or the statements in simple sentences. Let's move to the second grammar rule. What it says, the negative, subject plus do or does not plus the base verb. Here we are saying use do not for I, you, we and they. You know that these are the plural pronouns. So when we are using those, we will be saying do not. And when it is combined, we will say don't. And does not, which we have already studied this, will be used with he, she, it, which are the singular pronouns. I do not play. We can say I don't play as well. You do not like. We do not go. They do not watch. He does not run. You can say he doesn't run. She doesn't eat. It doesn't sleep. Well, let's move to the third grammar rule on simple present tense. Questions. How do we make questions using simple present tense? Do or does plus the subject plus the base verb. When we are using do, we will use it with I, you, we, they as usual. Then when does comes, we will be using it with he, she or it. Do you like music? When I'm using you, I'm applying do. Do you like music? Do they play? So when it comes to they, we are saying do. Do we have homework today? We. So I'm using do. Does he work here? So when it comes he, you can notice the difference. I'm using does instead of do. I won't say do he work here. It's wrong. How should I say? Does he work here? Does she speak English? Again, I'm using does with she as it is singular. I won't be saying do she speak English. If I say that, it is grammatically wrong. Keep it in your mind, children. We have to use it correctly. So how it comes? When it comes to singular pronouns, we will say does she. Does it rain in April? You can see that. It is a singular pronoun. Then I'm using does. I won't be saying do it rain. If it is used in that manner, that is grammatically wrong. So this is how the grammar rules apply. And let's go and see the categories. The simple present tense will be categorized into 4 categories to identify, or the places where we will be using simple present tense mostly within these 4 categories. Let's identify them. And we will see examples in each and every category that I am going to teach you now. The first one, when we are talking about facts or the general truths, what are the examples will come under that? Then the second one, habits or the routines. That is, we have habits or we have routines, and when we are talking about those things, then we will be using the simple present tense. The third one, permanent situations. Let's see what are the permanent situations and how we can use that simple present tense in such scenarios. The fourth one, timetables or the schedules. If you have any schedules or timetables, then also we will use the simple present tense. I'll take you to the examples, then you will understand this each category clearly. Let's take the first category, facts or the general truths. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This is a fact. Every time when you boil the water, it will boil at 100 degrees. We study that in science in schools. The earth revolves around the sun. This is a general truth, or it's a fact. We can take it in both ways. Birds have feathers. This is a fact. Or again we can say it's a general truth. Ice melts at home temperature. We know that if you keep the ice outside the refrigerator, then it will start to melt. Another example, a year has 12 months. It's a fact. A week has 7 days. A month has 30 days. So, these are facts or the general truths. In such scenarios or in these situations, we will be using the simple present tense to provide the information. The second category is habits or routines. Let's see what are they. She drinks coffee every morning. That is a routine or a habit. We do that daily. Then the second example, I go for a walk after dinner. We do it regularly. And I just want to mention here, we are using the pronouns she, I, they, you and all those here. They brush their teeth twice a day. That is a routine. They do it regularly. He always reads the newspaper at breakfast. It's a habit. He's doing it daily. The next example, we watch a movie every Friday night. Let's move to the third category, permanent situations. What does it mean? He lives in Colombo. That is a permanent condition. Next one, my parents own a bookstore. So that is owned by them always. She works as a doctor. She's a doctor. So she will be working always as a doctor. The school has 25 classrooms. It is there, fixed. So that's a permanent one. They run a farm in the countryside. So they are running that. So that is for them and it is fixed. We will be using with simple present tense. The next category, timetables or the schedules. The train leaves at 6 p.m. There is a schedule or it works according to the timetable. My flight arrives at 10:30 a.m. That is the time the flight comes. The movie starts at 7 o'clock. That is a timetable. The bus comes every 15 minutes. It's a schedule. The shop opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 8 p.m. This is fixed and a schedule that happens every day. To talk about this, we will be using the simple present tense.